Welcome to the Collection Coach Presents for SilkOne, next generation software for today's busy chiropractor. SilkOne is a fully certified EHR for meaningful use and compliant documentation for all payers. SilkOne was built with the busy doctor in mind. Our system guides the doctor through a bullet-pointed exam, daily SOAP notes, tracks the bullet points that are documented, and then suggests the appropriate CPT code for billing. The examination and daily notes that are generated when a doctor uses SilkOne are 100% compliant for all payers. SilkOne doesn't take the liberty to add pre-canned information to the patient record, which has gotten a lot of doctors into trouble during an audit. We choose to use the method preferred by auditors. It's the bullet-pointed system that you saw previously on the auditor's checklist. A doctor can complete exams and daily notes with just a few clicks. They're also customizable, so you can practice the way that you want. SilkOne's documentation is evidence-based. It's touchscreen enabled. It operates in the cloud, so it's very versatile. SilkOne is fully certified EHR for meaningful use, and users can generate reports with just a few clicks. And our AutoCode Smart feature returns practice to the way that it should be, where focus is on patients, not paperwork. When you log in as the treating doctor, this will be your start screen. We call this your virtual waiting room. The patients that appear in this list are the ones that have successfully signed in through the self-sign-in kiosk. They're listed in order of arrival. To begin the encounter, select the patient using the radio button and then click Examine Patient. You're then brought to the encounter summary page. From here, the doctor can choose whether to begin an examination or document a daily encounter. It's important to understand how documentation works from an audit perspective. Examinations and daily notes are separate CPT codes. As such, they have to be documented separately. SilkOne is built this way because of the guidelines. In the previous section, we looked at how auditors score your history. And if you recall, we said that an auditor would score your examination and medical decision-making process in the same manner. The auditor will be checking for how many bullet points you documented based on your musculoskeletal examination. This is the musculoskeletal examination with the bullet points that an auditor would be looking for. There are up to 35 bullet points that could be documented. The section that's highlighted with yellow shows where Medicare got the pain, asymmetry, range of motion, and tissue tone change, or PART, for their documentation requirements. Although there are 35 possible bullet points that could be documented during a musculoskeletal exam, not all 35 are required. The doctor can move through the examination as quickly or as thoroughly as he pleases. SilkOne will keep track of the amount of bullet points that are documented and then calculate the level of service based on the bullet points. Doctors are free to do as little or as much as they see fit. To begin an examination, click on the Exam button in the lower left-hand corner. When you do, this screen will appear. SilkOne will then guide the doctor through the examination as represented by the tabs across the top. The doctor will start with the vitals. Recording a minimum of 3 vitals will net the doctor 1 bullet point. This is the functional index that the patient filled out at self-sign-in. The doctor can review the results here. Clicking Save advances the doctor to the X-ray report. If you're a doctor that does not take X-rays in the office and has no need for X-ray findings, you can skip this page. However, if you do take X-rays in the office, you'll find this report to be very helpful, as this page is also smart-coded. You can record your X-ray findings for cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and both upper and lower extremities. For cervical, thoracic, and lumbar, you can send the appropriate CPT code to billing by clicking this box. If the doctor did some other view, that code would have to be entered manually. Now it's time to document the medical decision-making process. Medical decision-making is made up of 3 components: problems, data, and risk. You may have never heard of this, but you can bet auditors have. It's one of the 3 key components that must be documented during an evaluation and management encounter. And it's how the doctor gets paid for his expertise in evaluating the patient. This is a proprietary calculator that's unique to SilkOne. To my knowledge, no other software has this feature, but without it, it would be impossible to calculate the CPT code for billing. The last stop is the E&M code. Here's where SilkOne's smart coding makes your life a lot easier. As you documented during the encounter, SilkOne was keeping track of all of the bullet points and will now add them up and suggest the appropriate CPT code for billing. Click these buttons now and calculate the E&M code. If you'd like to send the CPT code to billing, click Add E&M Code. As the patient returns on subsequent visits, you can update your findings. This is a real time saver and an example of our smart documentation. At the beginning of each encounter, SilkOne will copy forward your findings from your previous visit. Simply check or uncheck the boxes to reflect the patient's current condition.